Hello, this is Juniper of Solar V Studio, and welcome to my backyard. Today I was looking at this lovely Oregon grapefruit and thought that it deserved some attention, and this cute little fern. Oh, that's so pretty. But in this whole area here, there's a lot of Oregon grape, and the root is very good for immune system stuff, which is perfect for the winter. I've yet to harvest it. I've been trying to just kind of let it fill in this section because it's not where people generally walk, or the cats a little bit, but they mostly walk along the logs. The deer don't come through here, so it's kind of like a little safe zone. Off the beaten track. So anyways, yesterday I was speaking about how much time you spend about thinking, how much time you spend on thinking about things. And one of the things that I spend a lot of time thinking about is the dishes. I need to do the dishes. I swear, 5 minutes after I think that I've washed every dish in the house, somebody has ended up eating something or ends up bringing more dishes to the kitchen. So it's just this constant, oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm stepping on a little vine maple, a tiny little one. So the dirty dishes are just a constant thing. I've never known of anything to multiply so quickly in my life. It's crazy. But in my thoughts, it's always like, oh, I should do the dishes. Oh, I should do the dishes. Oh, I should. And I have a lot, maybe it's just me. And if it is, so be it. But I have a lot of thoughts all of the time. And some of them are really recurring. Like, oh, I need to do the dishes. A very recurring thought. It's one of the things that takes up a lot of mental time. And so I've been trying to reorganize or re-evaluate how I spend my time. And I really feel like that is going to be a never-ending circumstance in my life. I'll always be considering how I spend my time and all of the things that I would like to do and how to make it all work. Because one of the things that I've wished for years and years and years is wanting more than 24 hours in a day, because it just feels sometimes as if I can't get everything done. But one of the tools that I've come across through researching travelers' notebooks and how other people use them, or bullet journals, or that sort of thing, is what's been coined as the brain dump. And this is just a piece of scrapbooking cardstockish paper that I cut down. And the grid paper came from a 99-cent composition, or no, a 99-cent book. I don't know, I just cut the page in half and stapled it. And then put some cute stuff on there, whatever. But I find this to be incredibly helpful, because when those times when my brain is just like blah, 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 I mean, about ideas, about things I need to do, about creative projects or quotes or anything that you come across that you would like, that you don't necessarily have time in the moment to handle, but you could do it at another time, right? So this is great, especially when I'm going to bed, because how I've done it is I just make a little box and then write things that I think about. Just no order, no organization, just blah, 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 blah. And then it's written down. So when I think of it again, then I can be like, oh, I already written down, already taken care of. And I mean, even if it's an appointment or whatever, I could just write it in here. And then later, you know, check off when I entered into my phone or put it on the calendar, or, you know, remind somebody to do something, or, oh, there was this thing, this errand that I needed to run, or there was this payment that I needed to make, or just an inspiring thought of an art project, or a quote that I wanted to think about later, or a reference to something. But I don't always have this with me, hence the beloved post-it notes. Then you can just throw this in here, and then this is just a place where I can go, or if you remember your dream, or who knows what, or if this funny thing happened. And it's just a place to just jot things down, and then you can go through, and when I'd finished an entire section, I would just cross it out. Okay, there's nothing right here that I need to take care of anymore, it's all done. But the brain dump has really been helpful to me, because for me, it clears up thinking space, because it's like, oh, okay, I've already written that down, I've already addressed it, I will get back to it. And then every so often, once a day or so, just go through all the things that haven't been checked off, and, you know, prioritize, or, you know, handle the information however you need to handle it. So this, I found, clears up quite a lot of, like, oh, I have to remember to send that email. So instead of thinking about that email 50 times in the day, just write it down, and then when you have your email open, you're like, oh, I know that there was an email I needed to send. Grab your book, there it is, right? Because that happens to me as well when I get into my inbox. There's so many things, and it's like, oh, it's like those, what are those called? Mind mapping or wonder mapping or something, where you have this central theme of your inbox, and then it goes in like 1,000 different directions, and then those can branch off in 1,000 different directions. Like, that's what my inbox feels like to me. Like, oh, what is that email about? Click on it, and then it's like leads on to all this other stuff, and then I'm like, oh, but now I have to go do this, and then distraction. But if you have it written down, and you read over what you've written down every day, then you will end up getting things done without it being like having to remember by yourself. So this is like my memory, in a way, for all those little bits that can get lost. Mostly what gets lost is the more pleasurable parts of my life. Mostly what gets lost is those funny, for example, I have this aquarium in my living room, and I recently planted it with just live plants that I had around the house, and put some Spanish moss in, and a couple pieces of petrified wood that my dad had found and given to me. And the cat today saw it, and in the aquarium there's like a half circle space. She decided for some reason that she needed to climb into it, but then she got in there, and she had to, like, it was so funny, she had to like squeeze her last back leg in, because she wasn't quite fitting well in there. And then she was looking around, and she realized that there was like this lid on. It was just super funny. So I pulled the lid off, got her out, and she was just like, what? But those are those funny little moments in the day that will make my kids crack up. Those are the things that I generally forget. So it seems like I have a tendency, because it's not important. I mean, it's funny, and humor is very important, and laughing and sharing and incredibly important, but those aren't it's not a responsibility, so my thoughts don't revolve around all of those nice little parts of life. That was a bit of a tangent. So, what I found is that when I'm driving, when I'm taking a shower, when I'm washing dishes, just doing those little mundane things, that's when I get a lot of thoughts coming to me. And I listed a bunch of things that had to do with water, which water and paper and ink don't always get along so well. But what are the thoughts that are coming to you in those times? Because my wish for myself is to spend those times thinking about those little quotes that I had written in my brain dump, thinking about creative projects and further the direction that I wanted them to go in, or instead of like, oh, I have to get this done, have to get this done, have to get this done, have to get this done. So even in those little moments when oh wow, okay, sorry, distracted. Even in those little moments when you're doing something mundane, then just jump into here, write it down, and then look through here and, oh, I'm gonna do some more dishes, go back, and then you can think about your fun things. But I just saw this, my daughter a few years ago, this is another one of those funny little things that I love. She wanted a birthday quest. So she wanted her birthday presents hidden around the yard and clues, like a treasure hunt type of thing. So Stefan dressed up as a monster and I dressed up as like the Lady of the Woods or something, and she had clues and she had to go all around. The problem was when I was planning the quest, I had planned some of it to be down by the creek, but on her very birthday, there was no creek bed. It had poured down so much rain that there was no walking space at all down there, and the water was just going so fast. So not a very good place to hide a gift. Anyways, that was fun, and I forgot that's in her handwriting. See, I love those little things. Anyways, because that's my old brain dump. But hey. Anyways, I find that the brain dump is a very helpful little tool to clear up my mental space so I could spend my time thinking about the things that I'd like to further develop, or different ways of going about something, or if I'm feeling stuck, like how can I, for example, I don't know if I'm going to do this, but I was inspired by this Instagrammer to draw on black paper, but I don't really have many supplies that will show up on black paper, because most of my pens and markers and things won't show up. So, and then they have tan and gray paper that I've been really wanting to play with for a couple years, so I need to just take a moment and think. Maybe today while I'm doing the dishes. Okay, blessings on your day.